I grew up in Cape Town, South Africa. During the apartheid era, we had huge disparities. We had disparities in education. We had disparities in our healthcare system. We had disparities in our entire political system because of institutionalized apartheid, institutionalized racism. And I grew up during the period of where we objected to all of these things, and there were protests, and we were engaged in a political conversation around equality and equitability and about lifting people up. And eventually, in 1994, there were free elections for all South Africans in the country, which elected Nelson Mandela as the new president of all South Africa. But out of this comes down to these questions. And when we talk about we wanting the rights to things like free education, the right to free healthcare, the right to free speech, the right to political determination, we have to talk about these things also in relationship to our responsibilities. And so, for example, when we talk about wanting the right to free education, yes, education is a cornerstone of society, and every person needs to have access to education. But with this right comes responsibility. We had to show up in school, even though politically we objected to the type of education we were getting, and we decided to have school boycotts to highlight the discrepancies, to highlight the inadequacies. We still showed up, read our books, listened to our teachers, was hungry for information and for knowledge so that we would get that knowledge base. And so, therefore, our responsibility to having a strong education system was for us to absorb, to cooperate, to get that education. We want a good healthcare system. Well, the responsibility in a good healthcare system is to be mindful of our actions. What do we eat? What are the undue risks that we take that could result in something that could require hospitalization? How do we minimize those risks so that we are able to enjoy the privilege of a good healthcare system? And for those who unfortunately do have an accident, who do have an incident that takes place that forces them to have the need for the healthcare, it is there to support them. But again, it is being mindful of what is our role in these things. We talk about political discord, and we talk about the First Amendment rights in the United States, the right for free speech. We were denied that right in South Africa. Books were banned. People were banned because of their speech. But free speech doesn't mean you can speak unfiltered. Free speech also means being considerate that there are other opinions. And how can you convey your viewpoint in a respectful way to engage people and say, I may disagree with you, I may see things from a different perspective, but not dehumanize another human being? And to come to a place to agree to disagree, but to do it in a place of respect. And so that aspect of getting people engaged in the political conversation, getting people engaged in the political process, and lifting everybody up. Because it doesn't matter who is president of South Africa. We are all South Africans. It doesn't matter who is president of the United States. Oh, we also are American. But firstly, we're all human beings. And being human means being respectful. That means being able to take our circumstance, to appreciate where we are, who we are, what we find ourselves in, but to also understand what are our responsibilities in these circumstances. So when we say get out and go and vote, yes, go and vote, but also think about what is the impact of that on everybody. This is not a blood sport. This is not about winner takes all. This is about creating a dialogue and being able to exercise ideas to say, how do we create a better world, a better society through our actions and our responsibilities collectively?